Hello everyone. Today's poem is Zheng Dalu, Zheng Wind from the Book of Songs. This is a typical poem describing the funeral to the cemetery. And there are many two-paragraph poems in Zheng Wind, which normally was taken as a love poem between a man and a woman, but actually none of them is about the love. It's all, not all, but the majority of them is about either a funeral or a ceremony, a sacrifice in the ancestor temple to their ancestors. So that's why they choose the form, the two-paragraph form, to write this type of, or to write this content in the two paragraphs, because we can see in the wind poems, most of them are with three paragraphs. And as constant as a normal things, there is always three phases of three. So the poems comes with three paragraphs to describe the three phases. So if they adopt the two paragraphs structure, which means there is something abnormal, there is something not constant. The funeral, the sacrifice to ancestors, normally is sad, with a bit negative, and it's a boundary. The situation is a boundary between the living people, and dead people. So that's something not normal, something not constant. So you can see through the structures, we can deceive something about the content, about the emotions, the feelings the poem could have. Among the two paragraph poems in the Zheng Wind, there are two poems. I'm not quite sure if it's about a funeral or a sacrifice to the ancestors. One is 拓兮, and the other is 阳之水. So the 阳之水 is quite obviously is about something between brothers, and there is some dispute about among the two brothers. So it's, of course, abnormal. It's not good. So that's also why they use the two paragraph structures. But it's not about the ancestors. But we can see among all the two paragraph poems in the Zheng Wind, the majority, 80–90% of them, are about the ancestors or funeral. Both they are about the ancestors, the passed away people, right? So that's the very focal point, the focal values of the Zhou people, the worship to their ancestors. Okay, let's see why this poem is not a love poem between a man and woman, but a poem of a funeral. 遵大路兮，参执子之袪兮。I'm following the Grand Chariot, and I try to get hold of the clothes of my Lord 3 times. Okay, let's put the focus on 4 characters. First character, 尊. 尊with the shape of the characters, it means two things. First things first, with respect, with the wine of for sacrifice. So basically, zun is a vessel to hold the wine, which was for the purpose for a sacrifice. And the lower part means the vessel of the wine, the zun, the vessel, was on the road. So it's quite strange, right? Let's see, put a wine cup along the road. Well, in the ancient time, in the Zhou dynasty, that's something quite familiar to the Zhou people in a funeral. So in the funeral, the coffin would be escort to send from the ancestor temple, which was in the town, in the city, to the suburb where the cemetery was located. So there's a long way to the cemetery. So the people who want to pay their condolence to the pathway people, he just put the food, the wine along the road to show his condolence, to show his respect, to show his memory to the pathway person. Okay, this is the first thing, the first character, Zun. And the second character, Lu. So today, in the modern Chinese, it always refers to the road. But in the Book of Songs, there is not many, maybe 4 or 5 poems has this character. It always refers to the chariot, especially the chariot for the state lord. So here, actually, 90% of the chance, it made very clearly already, 大路, the Grand Chariot. So it's talking about the state lord. And on that Grand Chariot, there could be only one person, the state lord, right? Of course, with his drivers, with the warrior stand on his right side. But normally, whenever the word 大陆 mentioned in the Book of Songs, in the history books, most cases, it's more referring to the state lord rather to the chariot, right? Okay, so the first sentence, 遵大路兮, the poet was along the road. He prepared all his sacrifice, the wine, the best wine, for his state lord. So that's a funeral for the state lord, right? And this could be double confirming the following sentence, right? 掺执子之袪兮. So by the shape of this character, the left part means to get hold of with the hand, and the right part, it means 3. So the whole character means to get hold of with his hand 3 times. So it describes a very busy or maybe mess up situation. The poet tried to get hold of something with both his hands many times. It's a little bit hard for him to get hold of, and maybe it's a little bit hurry for him to get hold of, because the chariot was with the coffin and it was on the go to the cemetery. And on the other hand, the poet was in his utmost sadness. He has very, very few control of his body as well as his hand, right? So when he see the chariot with the coffin of his state lord passed away from his home, he tried to get hold of the clothes of his state lord or on the coffin, on the Grand Chariot. So the character Qu with two parts, right? Very clearly, the left part refers to the clothes, and the right part refers to something passed away. So it means the clothes for the passed away people, the clothes for a dead, right? So it's very clearly, it has many indications that this poem was talking about funeral. Okay, let's see the second pair of sentences. 无我恶兮，不寁故也。无我恶兮, so that's an old way of the word sequence. So in modern sequence, 无我恶兮 should be read as 无恶我兮. So don't give a shit to me. 恶 means dislike or feel disgusting, sick of. So here, 无恶我兮 means, my Lord, don't be sick of me. Don't disgust me. Because I'm trying to get hold of you many times. It's, of course, violate the code of conduct, and it's also damaged your glory and your rituals. But after this time, I could never get hold of you anymore, right? Because the pathway state lord would be buried very soon. This is the last time that the poet could get hold of his state lord. The character Zan was interpreted as do something quickly, but per the shape of this character, basically it means to do some important things in the ancestor's temple, right? The upper part means the ancestor temple, the structure, the roof, and the lower part means a hand taking a flag running. So it means he's doing some important project or fulfill some important duties, because all the things happened in the ancestor temple is the most important things in a state. So 不寁故也 means the poet could have another meaning, means that I could never try to fulfill your order like before, right? In the ancestor temple, the state lord make the order, and the poet, his ministers, his senior officers, they will fulfill the order from the state lord. So this is the first paragraph. 遵大路兮，参执子之手兮. So I prepared all the sacrifice along the road in front of the Grand Chariot, and I tried to get hold of the hand of my Lord many times, and very likely he cannot get hold of his state lord hands anymore. So here I also have some of the doubt. So on the way to the funerals, the coffin was totally covered, or everybody can still see the passed away state lord in the coffin. So I'm not quite sure, but from this poem, very likely the coffin was not full covered. The poet still could see his passed away state lord, and he also tried to get hold of, to catch the hands of his state lord in the coffin, right? Okay, next sentence. 无我魗兮，不寁好也. Don't take me as a ghost, my lord. Because why I'm trying so hard to shake your hand, to get hold of your hand, because we could never to enjoy our happy time anymore. So let's see the character one by one. 无我魗兮, 丑. So it was normally translated as ugly. But if you look at the character, the left part is shou. It has two meanings, or two similar meanings. A very long life, or means dead. Shou also means dead, because long life is something quite similar to death, right? The right part, 鬼, referring to the spirit, to the ghost that when a people passed away. So the spirit, the ghost, will reside on a human's body when he was alive, but when he passed away, the ghost, the spirit, will left the body, left the carcass. So normally when we refer to a ghost, in other hand, we take that person already passed away, is a dead person, because we can feel, or we can see the ghost rather the body, right? So here is a little bit funny that, or it's more tentative that, because the poet finally realized his state lord passed away, so his state lord is a ghost. So now he's trying to catch up, to get hold of the hand of his state lord, and he don't want to disturb the ghost of his state lord, because the Chinese believe when he just passed away, when they are a new ghost, sometimes they cannot distinguish the living world or the passed away world. So now the poet, he's a living person. He's trying to catch up his state lord. He wants to tell his state lord, you don't be disturbed, firstly. Second, and don't take me as a ghost. Now you are a ghost, but I'm still a living person. So that's why you would know I violate the code of conduct, and even I messed up your coffin or something, made your funeral not so perfect. Is because I'm so miss you, because after this time. After these cases, we could never enjoy our good time anymore. So how we can see in the left part is 女 means a normal person, and the left part is 子 means the noble person or the state lord. So the two persons with different social level, they are together, which means it's a harmony. They are enjoying a very good friendship. Even that friendship, that harmony, can break the social level, right? So the second paragraph basically is a repeating and is more sophisticated compared to the first paragraph. So he even think what his state lord think, right? Don't be disturbed. I'm not a ghost, my state lord. So someone was shaking your hand. He's a living person. He's not a ghost. But this guy, the poet, wants to break the boundaries between a living person and a dead person. Because after this point of time, they would never see each other again. They could never touch each other again. And they could never take care of each other again. And they can never enjoy their good time again. 不寁好也. They could never enjoy their friendship anymore. Okay, that's for today. Bye bye.